Hi, my beautiful brothers and sisters. This is Mary Hernandez with Genesis Kingdom, um, part two. And so I picked the title Shiloh. And Shiloh also to let you know that it's God in us, and Creator, the four wings, the four daughters, the hierarchies, as well as the prophets and the prophetess that have died for the cause. I always acknowledge all, because we were all a team that went out there, sheep among wolves, and let Genesis 49:10 let you know exactly who Shiloh is. It says in Genesis 49:10, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver between his feet until Shiloh come. So also a person, but it also talks about that is also a little town, just like the Garden of Eden's. So Shiloh's gonna come, and it tells you what is she coming to do unto him that be gathering the people up. The gathering of the people be, and she made not just the children, but also this world to know that there is a creator, but then there's also people that people call God. And that is also in the Bible. So when you hear some definitions, I can't find that Bible verse, but it was one where Jesus was saying, I'm going to come to the high mountain. And he said, and this is where they're going to worship me there. Because again, people make themselves idols and make themselves gods. We're in an image of our creator, but there's only one maker. There's no other. We're made in the image of her. And really our high calling was to bring you back to her. And also for us to know who we really were in Christ, that we're daughters of the Most High God, that it was a woman's covenant that got tainted from years and centuries ago, a war, an Armageddon battle that's been going on from the beginning, an Armageddon battle that was been from the beginning of Genesis for your soul. So they keep you in bondage. And you hear the story that Jacob stole the birthrights, and he did. But you sit there and you think Jacob wasn't well known the way he should have. He was well known he had 12 kids. So they knew that was him. And he had a lot of kids. They knew he was his father. But you still have the ungodly gods that were running the throne, the hardest from hell that they married, that they were. He wasn't recognized. It wasn't like you seen Jacob all over the world, over the nations. And what? They made movie stars, but movie stars all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. They keep you down there because you're in slavery and you think you're doing big things, but no, they are. And you're down here and you're still being enslaved. And it tells you that from the beginning of Genesis all the way down. And then he hires people to go in there and bring you out. She does. And then you attack the people that they send. But yet the ones that sin and they do evil towards you, you're going to them for help. But you don't want to, because that person, the enemy, has you fooled. Of course he doesn't want you to go to the person that she sent you. So then the whole message of this, of Shiloh, tells you how Shiloh was being torn down, by the enemy. And God had picked somebody to be there watching over you. And this was she sending the four wings. And it came to the fact when they came, and they stole the covet. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to share to you what that means, right? So it says the Philistines, 1 Samuel 5, actually, 1 Samuel 5. And the Philistines took the ark of God, and they brought it from Ebenezer onto Ashdod. And unto the Philistines they took the ark of God, and they brought it to the house of Dagon. And they set it in by Dagon. Real quick, I said, I want to know who Dagon is, right? We know we had an idol that kept falling down. Dagon, who is spelled D-A-G-O-N, in the Bible is D-A-G-A-N, the West Semitic god of the crop of fertility. He's a fertility god from Satan. He's evil. Worship extended throughout the ancient Middle East. Dagon was one of Hebrew, Juridic, common noun for grain. God of Dagon is a legendary inventor of the plow. He's a fish. He's a man Yeah, so it says Dagon is spelled historical. Okay, that's what I just read. It's a symbol. It's multiplying. He's a sea monster. Um, so it's also spelled Dagon. He is a demon, a lord of the god of the sea, of the monster that dwelleth in the darkest depth. He's a fertility one that comes out here to the world almost like. Anyways, the people that worship him is the Amorites, and later was the Philistines, the Western Macedonia. In the evidence that they worship in 2500 BC, the city of Mari, the states of the highest that are lesser gods that are between the contents. This is falling in his face. Okay, and it talks about when they went in, and this is kind of a manfish. I'm pretty sure you can see it. And he could come up here and look normal and sit there, be pregnated people out here because they have access to and from. You know, I've always said not all money is good money, you know. Dagon is possible fallen archangel, the high-ranking prince of hell, who was worshipping god agriculture, the fish among the Philistines and Macedonians. That is what gets to roam around while you sit there and still live in slavery, while you still sit there and go to them for help when they want you so much not to fall. They want you not to believe. They want the world not to believe that there is such thing in this world. And oh, honey, there is. And they do. So I did Dagon is spelled Dagon West Medic, God, the crop of fertility. And here you go. This is a better picture of him for you to see. You know, you put it on under Dagon in the Bible, and that shows you that one, or you could do the Bible meaning, which is the same thing. But that's right away where they took the ark once they went ahead and tore down the whole city of Shiloh and Shiloh, you know. The real enemy in this world. Anyways, so it brings me to 1 Samuel 5. And when they had Ashdod arose early in the morrow, behold, Dagon was falling upon the face of the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon, and they set him in a place again. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, Dagon was falling upon the face of the ground of the ark of the Lord. The head of Dagon, both in the palms of his hands, were cut off. The threshold only to stop of Dagon that was left on him. That's when they stole the tabernacle of God and they took it in there. And that one that they made an idol of him kept falling and it was breaking off. People were getting tumors. Understand how powerful you are as a child of the Most High God. Imagine all that source. We're powerful source. Trust me, we have the maker with us. But imagine how much you would be protected, how much your family, and not just to his children, but to this world also. And really get into studying, get into the truth. And they make it that it's to them, it's an ego thing. It's a pride thing. Like, man, that's it. The women are going to run the world and we're down here. Well, you know what? What happens when they started running the world? You have prostitution. We have sex trafficking going on. We have people that are getting killed, steal, and destroy. You have people that don't jump to help women when they're getting attacked. I've seen it in all this journey. But they want to keep you down there. And this is an equal thing. This is not about, and my husband is going to have just as much right as I do. Just because I'm a world leader, a king leader, his opinion in this world is going to mean just as mine. We're in it together. World changers, world leaders. What is good for this world? Are we perfect? No, we're not perfect. But she doesn't want us functioning the world of the beast system. She wants her 10 commandments to be honored in every state, every city, and every nation. And it's going to be honored. We owe her that. She hasn't given up on you. You were the one that turned her back on you. And this man sat there and they covered up the lie. And let me tell you, the real man that covered up the lie is Satan. It's the fallen Adam from when he got sentenced to hell. He's corrupted. He's done. He's gone. And you raise him up, as he says, be so big. And he's The prince of hell. He ain't the prince of no, not even on the earth. Nothing. Nothing. And you honor him. You look up to him, and he wants nothing for you to fall. So they continue having dominion over this world and destroy and destruction that has been going on. But nobody listens. Nobody wants to believe. Everyone wants to believe it's man, 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 man. It's a woman's covenant started, and then she made the kings. Yes, there is a king next to us. Those kings got corrupted by hell. That's what they did. And it tells you that fallen Adam, blam, pushed the girls on them and said, go throw yourself on them so they don't come in a covenant with the woman. And it worked because you got Abraham, you got Israel that never made it out of there. And then this is the offset, generations after generations into the promised land. Nobody has made it because you fall into sin. The lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the whatever it is. In your heart, in your belly, it goes out. Here we go. That's what they want you to do. That's what they want us to turn against each other. So you don't hear, so this world doesn't hear the truth. It wasn't even the men just like the clout. So they're all like, shoot, we get to have all the women? Well, you're so fool because you were still in slavery. They weren't doing nothing big. Nothing. Nothing. The enemy does. The hardest from hell do. And then yet you see some of the kids still out there barely begging for bread. I saw that out there. But Adam is so great, right? This is, and then now 1 Samuel 5:4. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, Dagon had fallen upon the face of the ground before the ark of the Lord, and the head of Dagon, both palms and his hands were out upon the threshold, and they stumped Dagon, and it was left on him, but neither was the priest of Dagon, neither was come into Dagon's house to tread on the threshold, and Dagon Ashdod was set unto them. It says, but the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them that are Ashdod, that he destroyed them, and smote them with emeralds, and even Ashdod with the coast thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, and they said, the ark of God of Israel shall not abide with us. His hand is sore upon us and upon Dagon, upon our God. That's how she protects us. That the hands of her is all over us. That's why and it's almost like people mock when he says, it's a suicide mission. Anyone that tries to come, and I think on YouTube I see somebody put, here's the suicide mission crew, and they make this a joke, and this ain't no joke. This is something really serious. It's an Armageddon for your soul. She's bringing it to pass. She's bringing it to pass. It's going to happen. It's an awakening. That awakening was for you, was for the daughters, were for the sons of Abraham, the daughters of Israel, the daughters of Jerusalem, the daughters of Zion, all of you, and this world also. But they don't want you to hear. They don't want you to believe. They want you to be stuck of a man. Let that Jesus story go. Let it go. Let it go. Don't focus on that. Focus that there is a creator. Read the Bible. I have shared plenty of Bible verses to do. And when I looked up Shiloh, Shiloh is the Messiah that is coming in. It's a woman Messiah that is here. She's already here. That's why they mocked and said, where's the second coming? The second coming is coming. And it's true. They were mocking, and it wasn't going to happen because they weren't going to say the truth. So they made up this facade of this Messiah that died on the cross. Nobody died on the cross. Nobody cast out those 7 demons out of me, Mary. Nobody did. The Creator did. I had to fight a battle, pick up the Bible. I had to pick up the Bible and read the Bible, go deep into worship, go deep into prayer. There was no Jesus over me, praying over me, saying it is delivered. Nobody but the Creator that you can't see. And this Bible that is sharper than a 2-edged sword. I sat there and I would wake up garnishing my teeth, honestly, saying these things out of my mouth that I was all like, oh my God, help me. Help me. Nobody was there. There was no Jesus that said, she cast it out. Jesus was the one that healed. No, nobody was there. No one but the maker of what you don't see and what you don't believe in. And also I started praying, picking up the Bible, worshiping, putting on God's music and worshiping her. Because at first I thought it was a man God. It's a woman's God. And that is proved in Proverbs 8 and 9. You know, and I went into deep prayer, keep reading the Bible, and boom, it was out. It was out. It left. We were all have spirits that don't even know. We walk around thinking it's normal. I have no clue because we had been in hell on earth for a long time. And he had dominion of it because we didn't know who we were. We forgot the creator. And you see it on TV being, televised that they had pushed, the 10 Commandments out. They pushed them out. They even televised. They were taking them out. Remember, they were in that big old, it looked like a book. They took that down. They were taking God out of everything in this world. And they made themselves God. That's when you get Blam, all the other ones that they made statues of. But out of nobody, no creator, no nothing, because she's not around. Nobody knows what she looks like. Nobody even knew that she was Mother God. I didn't even know. I always assumed it was Father, Father, Father. Yes, we do have a creator. We do have kings that she made for us. But it was her that created everything. And people want to say, oh, was the man that made it? No, it was the slaves. It was you that was building states and cities and vineyards that belonged to you. And yet, because you stay in slavery, bowing down to a beast system, a man system, is why you're always going to be a slave and sit in there. But that world is coming to an end. She's putting a stop to it. And it's stuff that you're building that is yours. You get people all over the world that are sitting in their slavery. That's why you stay down there. And the men are lifted up with the horse from hell. And they're living well while you're struggling. Yes, of course, we have to walk through the valley of shadow of death to get into the promised land. And in there, preach the truth. Get to the bottom of it and bring you back in a covenant with the Creator. They sent there, therefore, and they gathered all the lords of the Philistines and unto them. And they said, what do we do with the ark of God of Israel? And they answered and said, let the guard of the God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of God of Israel about thither. And it was so. But after that, they had carried it about the hand of the Lord against the city, which was very great destructions, and smote the man of the city, small and great. And they had emerods and in their secret parts. Therefore they sent the ark of God of Ekron, and it came to pass as the ark of God came to Ekron, and the Ekronites, and they cried out, saying, have they brought up the ark of God of Israel to us to slay our people? That's how powerful it is. Anybody that comes against you, imagine she did that with the ark of God. Like, everybody's important to her. But if you're not looking for her, if you're not reading the Bible and getting to the truth, she's there, but you don't see her. You'll never see her. You'll never feel her. She's the wind. She is the wind. And you feel the wind, but you don't see it, right? That's what the Creator is, but it's a powerful, beautiful source, not a demonic one. The demonic one wants you to kill, steal, and destroy. Sin. Have 20 wives, have 30 wives. Go ahead and slip around everywhere. Go ahead and be gay. Go ahead. It's okay. They'll use influencers to make you think that that's a pathway to hell. My mother, and my father love you. They hate sin. The sin that you were being told it's okay. I'm here to tell you it isn't. No whoremongers, no nothing. Nothing. All that is a sin, that is a pathway to hell. That they didn't want you to know. And she said, how do they know if they're not being taught that? That is the mission. That is the whole walk that she chose me to do. And I know there's other brothers and sisters. I'm talking about me. My high calling in Christ Jesus was you. Has it been a long journey? Absolutely, it has been. But it was worth it, because at the end of the day, I said, when this is done, the land is going to be healed for my children, for my children's children. And that's how you should see it. Do I want a demonic world under a dictator that wants us to take the mark of the beast? Because that's going to happen if you haven't seen it already. And they're even showing this lady make it look all cutesy. I get to just slide and I pay my things. That's the mark of the beast. And that is backed up in Genesis, which I have it, which I'll probably do tomorrow. I was going to close it up with that, but I call it the pagan empire, the crypto Christianity, which talks about the mark of the beast. And I'm going to do that only because I see it and they're trying to make it look cool. Like, hey, dude, you could get that chip right in there and that's it. You could just pay everything right there. You don't have to carry wallets, nothing. I mean, they didn't say that, but they're making it look so fancy. And then she said, all I do is pay it like this, and it is paid. That's the mark of the beast. And that's in there in Revelation. So let me close it up. It says, so now in 1 Samuel 5:11. So they sent and they gathered together all the lords and the Philistines, and they sent away the ark of the God of Israel, and they let it go again in its own place, and it slay us not, our people, and there are deadly destructions. It says our people, for there was a deadly destruction throughout the city, and the hand of God was very heavy there. And the men that died were not smitten with the emeralds, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. You see that? And you're talking this people that worship other idols, but heaven still heard it. But she said, hey, you bring back my covenant. 1 Samuel 6, and the ark of the Lord was in the country of the Philistines for 7 months. The Philistines called for the priests and the diviners, saying, what should we do with the ark of the Lord? Tell us where we shall send it in this place. And he sent him away to the ark of God of Israel. Send it not empty, that I am wise to return it in trespass offering, that you should be healed. And it shall be known unto you why God, this is why his hand is not removed from you. Then they said that we shall be in trespass offering, and we shall return it to him, and answered 5 golden emeralds and 5 golden mice, according to the number of the lords of Philistines, and one of the plague that was on you, and one of your lords. But wherefore you shall make images of your emeralds, and the images of your mice, and into the Moab land, but you shall have glory unto God, of the God of Israel. Peradventure, and he'll lighten his hand from you, and from your God, and from your land. You see that? So pray to the Creator, and your God that you call God, and you, all of you will be saved, but ask for forgiveness for taking that ark that didn't belong to them. And yet, if she has mercy and grace on an enemy that had other pagans, what makes you think that she won't do it to you, the children, to believers, and even to the unbelievers that don't believe? Believe. You want signs and wonders, dude. Look around. Look around. What more? What more do you want? It says, wherefore then do you harden your hearts, you Egyptians? It says, and Pharaoh. And this is 6:6, 1 Samuel 6:6. Where it says, wherefore then do you harden your hearts? And the Egyptians and Pharaoh hardened their hearts, that he had wronged wrongfully among them, and they did not let the people go, and they departed. But now therefore make a new cart in the milch kine, and into there they come no yoke and tied kine of the cart. Bring the cows home with them. They take the ark of the Lord, and they laid it upon the cart, and put on jewels of gold, and they returned it to him in trespass offering, call for the sight thereof, and they send it away, that it may go. So it goeth on the way in the coast of Beth Shemesh. But he had done this great evil. But if not, that he shall know that it is not his hand that smote us, but it was a chance to happen to us. And the man did so. They took to Malachi, and they tied it with them in the cart, and they shut up the cows at home. But the Lord, and they laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and coffer with mice and gold and images of their emeralds. And the kine took straightway in the way of Beth Shemesh, and they went along the highway, loving the day that they went, and they turned not aside, but the right hand of the left of the lords and the Philistines that went after the border of Beth Shemesh. And at the very beginning, I've even heard some of the ungodly people say, man, they were like, the beast is coming. They were calling God the beast, because this was people that were in darkness, that they're going to put their hands on us and we're going to be delivered from evil. And they said they ain't putting their hands on me, you know, because they know that would happen. If I was to sit there and put my hands, pray over somebody, they would be delivered. They know if I pray because I'm highly anointed, I'm highly favored, highly anointed to do good and not evil, and I do not abuse my gifts, you know. And he almost mocked and said, well, they ain't touching me. I ain't touching me because I ain't doing it, you know. But they don't understand the Spirit of God is the most powerful source there is. So that's what I've been waiting for, that moment to literally transforms me so I could transform this generation. So that's what I'm waiting around, and that's what they've been trying. Like all this witchcraft and demonic. But she's on the throne, and she knows when the time comes that we will be up there. And, you know, if anybody asks for prayer, I have done it. And I pray for people, and I continue praying every day that he opens the eyes of your discernment, wisdom, and knowledge, so you can see who the real enemy is. I'm going to close it up right there because it goes pretty much all the way down to 6. Wait, I think I have 4 more minutes. So now it says 1 Samuel 6:13. It says, and then in Beth Shemesh they were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley, and they lifted up their eyes, and they saw the ark, rejoiced to see it, and the cart that came to the field of Joshua and Bethshemite. And they stood there, and there was a great stone in the cleft of the wood of the cart offered, the kind of burnt offering unto the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord in the coffer, and it said that was it, wherein the jewels of gold were, and they put them in great stones. And the man of Bethshemesh offered the burnt offerings and sacrificed the same day unto the Lord. And when the 5 lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron, and same day. And the golden emeralds of the Philistines returned to trespass offering unto the Lord of Ashdod, one of Gaza, and Ashkelon of one, and Gath of one, and Ekron of one. The golden mice, according to the number of the cities of the Philistines, belonging to the 5 lords, both of the fence of the city and the country villages, even unto the great stone of Abel, wherein they set down of the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day of the field of Joshua of Bethshemite. But they smote the man of Bethshemite because of the look of the ark of the Lord, and even he smote the people 50,000, 70 men. And the people lament because the Lord has smitten many people, and the great slaughter. And the men of Bethshemite who were able to stand before the holy Lord, in whom they showed, he go up from us. And he sent messengers into Karajeram, saying, the Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord, but came down to fetch it up to you. You know, and if you really would have done to do the research, you know, it tells you that they went in there and they slewed everybody. I mean, they took it, and it was the biggest attack that they could have been in Israel, what they had done. And then they took the ark and they stole it. So even though they thought they were going to, they had to put back what they had stolen. And even at the end, she went and wiped out because they did evil. You got to understand, this war has been with our family since the beginning of Genesis, and still now in Revelation. And you're not seeing it. You know, you're not hearing. It's really studying and going in the deep with the Bible and learning it, you know. That's why I picked it up at the beginning. I said, well, I want to know my ancestors. I want to know more about them, you know. Yes, they tainted it to make it look. You got to understand, man had wrote on here. But if they didn't wipe everything out, and I know that had to be the hands of God, because then you never would have known the truth. And the truth will set you free, and it has set me free. So I continue showing up, preaching truth, deliverance, and stay in faith, hope, trust, and believe. And we're going to see turnaround. We're going to see us suddenly, and I'm still hoping and believing, waiting for it. And yes, it's been a while, but I know who my maker is. With that being said, have an amazing, amazing day, amazing Thursday. Shalom, shalom, and have a blessed day. Amen and amen.